Morning students, welcome back to computer science classes of class 12. Hope all of you are doing well. So let us start with the session today. Today we will be learning the rest part of the introduction of web services, under which we will be learning IP address, domain name resolution, its process, how do we do it, and the web scripting languages. So let us start with IP address. IP address is basically a unique address. Like we all have our address of our home with which anyone can locate us. In the same way, any device that is connected over the internet, or you can say the TCP/IP network, is identified with a unique address, and that unique address is called IP address, Internet Protocol Address. In other words, you can say an IP address is an identifier of a computer or a device on a TCP/IP network, and the network using TCP/IP protocol routes the messages based on IP address of the destination. So, any device which is connected to the network with TCP/IP protocol is always having an IP address, and the messages sends with the help of based on the IP address only. So let us see the format. The format of IP address is of 32-bit and it is separated by a period. What is this period? It is a dot. So it comes in a pair of 4. You can see, like this is an example, this is another example, and this is another example. You can see the address examples 192.168.1.2 or 10.324.1.3. So this is, you can understand the examples. Let us take some more thing. So in this you can see the IP address is processed. The computer converts them into binary form. Normally it is in decimal form, but it is converted to binary form. You can see 192.168.1.10 is been converted to the binary forms, and this IP address is assigned by the ISP whose internet connection is used on that computer. I guess all of you know what is ISP. It is Internet Service Provider. Now moving to next, how to find out the IP address of your computer. How you can find out your IP address of the computer. So what you will do, you will go to start menu button of your computer, click on the run dialog box and write CMD, and there you will get this black console, the command prompt, and there you have to just write ipconfig. You can just see ipconfig, this one. The moment you write ipconfig, you will get the Windows IP configuration, and this is your IP address 192.168.12. So moving to next, domain name resolution. So domain name resolution is an acronym for DNR, and it is the process by which your computer finds IP address of a particular domain. Okay, so how does it works? We will study this, we will understand. It works in basically 3 steps. The first step is, what we have to do, we have to enter the domain name of the website that we want to access in web browser. And the second step, what we have to do, the web browser issues a command. What we don't have to do first is our work. We have to enter the domain name of the website, and then the web browser issues a command to the operating system of our computer to generate the IP address of the given domain name. So, how our computer is generating the IP address of the given domain name? We will be learning this in our next slide, but in the meanwhile, let us see what is the third step or the last step. After obtaining the IP address, the operating system sends it to the web browser that has requested it. So, basically what we are doing, it is of 3 steps. We have to enter the domain name in the web browser. Second, what we are doing, the web browser is sending a command to the operating system of the computer, of our computer, to generate IP address. When the IP address, and the third step is, when the IP address is generated, it is been again sent to the web browser that is requested for it. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now let us see how to resolve it, how to resolve the IP address or the domain name. So, generally the operating system, what it does, it maintains an hosts file which will contain all the IP addresses of some domain names, and therefore the operating system first checks that file whether that IP address of that particular given domain name is available or not. If the IP address is not obtained or not found in that host list, then what the operating system does, it connects to the DNS server on the network, okay, and then the DNS server maintains a directory containing a list of all the domain names and IP addresses that are registered on the internet. Then the DNS server finds the IP address and give it back to the operating system. I hope this is clear to all of you. Let us understand it again. I am just repeating it, the whole process. What the operating system is doing, it is having a hosts file, okay, it is having a host file. So, this host file is important. What it contains? It contains the IP addresses of some domain names, some specific domain names, basically which are frequently being used. And then the operating system, what it does, obviously if it is having a database, a host file, then it will be checked first by the operating system to get the IP address of the given domain name of that particular website. So, if the IP address is not obtained from the host, then what is happening? If we are getting it, then to no issues, but if you are not getting it, then what is happening? Then the operating system is connecting to the DNS server, okay, DNS server on that particular network, and then the DNS server, what it does? The DNS server is also maintaining a directory which contains all the domain name and the IP address that are registered over the internet. So, over www, whatever websites, whatever domain are been registered with their IP addresses are been stored in DNS server. Then obviously the DNS server will find the IP address of the given domain name and send it to the operating system back. When the operating system will get it, it will again copy it in the host file and send the IP address to the web browser. So, that will be the third step. So, this is actually the portion of second step. I hope this is clear to all of you now. Now, moving to next, web scripting. A script is a list of commands embedded in a web page which are executed by a certain program of scripting engine. So, script is nothing but a list of commands which has been embedded or you can say fused with a web page. So, web scripting is used for creating web pages to publish them on the web interactively. So basically we are making dynamic one. The communication between web browser and the web server happens through small programs called web scripts. So this communication is done with the help of web scripts. So any small program with which the communication between the web browser and web server is happening, that is the web script. And now this web script is of two types. One is client side web scripting language, another is server side web scripting language. Now let us understand them one by one. So this client server scripting language, the client side scripting enables the user to interact with web pages. The client side scripts are downloaded at the client end and then interpreted and executed by the web browser. Okay, so the client side scripting web browser is dependent. Okay, so whatever language we are having for client side is browser dependent, and therefore browser must be scripting enabled that can interpret the script code. So it is basically depending upon the browser that we are using. Now let us see some examples. We have got JavaScript, VBScript and PHP. We will be studying them and their structures for a brief introduction. JavaScript. JavaScript was the first web scripting language to be introduced, and it is still by far most popular. Okay, so it is the first web scripting language, and the original name of JavaScript is LiveScript. It was introduced by the Java language, and it has been introduced in a Netscape Navigator, the browser, and later on it has been renamed as JavaScript as it is relating with Java language. So it is primarily used for client side processing, and it is a scripting language, not a programming language. You have to keep it in mind. It can easily be embedded in HTML tags and executes immediately as the page is displayed. Okay, so it is not a programming language, it is a scripting language and can be easily embedded, means used with HTML. So JavaScript along with languages like XML can call in only the required data from the server without receiving a full web page. Without receiving the full web page also, it can work by getting the required data. Now see the structure. As we have already seen that it can be embedded with HTML tags or HTML language very easily. So the structure of JavaScript is almost like HTML language. All of you know how this HTML language structure looks. So it will start with HTML, head, title, head close, start body, and then inside it we will have this scripting language, script language equal to JavaScript, whatever document dot write welcome, and then close the script. So this is the basic portion for JavaScript, and then close body, close HTML tag. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now let us see how the JavaScript allows the user to perform several functions. So what are the different functions of JavaScript? It adds scrolling or changing messages to the browser status line, updates the content of a form by using validation checks, then display the messages to the user either in a new web page or which is a subpart of the main web page, then creates animate images that change when the user hovers the mouse over them, detect browser in use and display different contents of different browsers, detect installed plugins and notify the user if a plugin is required, So these are the different functions of the JavaScript language. Now moving to VB-Script. VB-Script is a lightweight programming language developed by Microsoft corporations, and it's a default script language for ASP. Earlier we have seen JavaScript language is using Java language as a backend or the basic language. Over here VB-Script is the scripting language, by default scripting language for ASP, that is Active Server Page language. Now VB-Script is a server side scripting language. However, it may also be used for client side scripting language. Now it is a very simple to create and can be written using text editor like Notepad, and it will be saved with .vbs extension. The Java one is saved with .html only, but it is saved with .vbs script extensions. Let us see the following code. Again HTML head, title, close, title, and then head, close, start body. Script type equal to text / VB-Script. With this you are going to define that it is a VB-Script, and then close the script tag, close the body tag, and close the HTML tag. Now next we have got PHP. It is hypertext preprocessor language. You would have heard about PHP. This is again a client side scripting language. So with PHP, user can do things like create username, password, login pages, check details from a form, create forums, picture galleries, and this was created by Rasmus Ledorf to add dynamic content to an HTML page. So how this script language shows? Same, embedded with the HTML tags, but here we do not use the script tag, we use over here like this code is been used. When we will run, you will find hello world is been printed on your web browser. Now what are the features of PHP? Let us understand. It can be used as a dynamic web page with PHP scripting language. Then it is a server side scripting language, and the scripts are executed on the server. It is free and open source software product, provides connectivity with many databases like MySQL, Sybase, Oracle, and many more. It runs on different platforms like Unix, Linux, Windows, so it is platform independent. It is compatible with almost all web servers used today like Apache, IIS, and many more, whatever you know. Then the PHP commands are embedded within the standard HTML pages like others are there, and the syntax is similar to C or Perl languages, which makes it easy to use. The files can have one of the following extensions: .php, .php3, or .phtml. So you have to be very careful. Either of these extensions can be used to have this PHP scripting language. Now moving to server side script. Server side script is actually executed on the server before displaying information requested, and there are two different examples that we have considered. ASP and JSP. ASP is active server page and JSP is Java server page. We'll start with ASP, active server pages. It's a technology that is used to create dynamic web pages so that the user can see these pages without any specific web browser. Not necessary that you have to use Netscape Navigator, you have to use Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox or Opera or something else, because it is web browser independent, it is not dependent on web browser. But earlier you have seen the JavaScript was dependent on web browser. So the user does not require any specific web browser to view these pages. For creating active server pages, the default scripting language is used, that is VBScript and sometimes JScript. So the ASP pages are saved with extension .asp. So when a browser requests on an ASP, the web server generates a page with HTML code and sends it back to the web browser. So the ASP, one more thing, the short form for ASP is it is also standing for application server provider. Like ISP, internet service provider, it is application service provider. Now let us see what are the different services it has been provided. It helps in creating interactive and dynamic web pages, allows access to any data or databases and returns the result to web browser, allows the user to dynamically edit, change or add any content of a web page, provides security to a page and as it not execute on a web browser. So I hope the features of the services offered by ASP is clear. Now next is JSP, Java server pages. It is again a technology that helps software developers to create dynamic web pages based on HTML or XML or other document types, and it was first released by Sun Microsystems. So to process a JSP file, developers need JSP engine, which is connected to a web server, and this JSP page is then compiled into a servlet which is handled by the servlet engine, and this phase of handling is known as translation. So the servlet engine loads the servlet class and executes it to create dynamic HTML, and finally that is sent to the web browser. So overall you can say JSP compiler is a program that passes JSPs and converts them into executable Java servlets. Next we have got some features of JSP. Let us discuss them. First, it is platform independent. Why we are calling it as platform independent? Because it can be run over any type of web servers. Next, configured for reusability. So the JSP components can be reused across the servlets like Java Beans, Enterprise Java Beans, etc., and it is very simple and easy to use. So basically the development and maintenance is very easy. Now let us see the difference between client side scripting and server side scripting. So the client side scripting, first it runs through web browser, and server side scripting, it is running through web server. Client side scripting, the processing takes place on the end user's computer, whereas server side scripting, the processing takes place on server side. The browser receives the page sent by the server and executes on the client side script, whereas in server side scripting the server executes the server side scripts to send out a page, but it does not execute the client side scripts. Next, the client side scripting cannot be used to connect to the databases. So, this cannot be used to connect with the database on the web server, whereas the server side scripting can be used to get the data from the database on the web server. The client side scripting can be blocked by the user. So, user can block it, but server side it cannot be blocked by the user. Next, response from client side script is faster as compared to the server side script, because script are processed on the local computer. That's why it's very fast. On the other hand, the response from server side script is slower as compared to the client side, because the scripts are processed on the remote computer. So, it will take time. Now, let us see the examples of it. Client side scripting, JavaScript, VBScript, PHP, whereas server side scripting PHP is the example of server side scripting, then JSP and ASP. So, with this we are ending with the difference between the server side and client side scripting language. I hope this is clear to all of you. I repeat, the examples of client side scripting language, they are JavaScript, VBScript, whereas examples of server side scripting language is PHP, JSP, ASP. So, with this we are ending our session today. I hope the session was fruitful and enjoying, and if you have any doubt you can always contact me. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Thank you.